If you really want to know where our money is going, look to the stars, to the planets, and of course, to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. When we put them together, an awakening view of the world opens before our eyes. What does 1984 mean to NASA? How can planets have any effect on Earth and life on Earth? In 1984, all the planets in the solar system grouped together in a very small area on the same side of the Sun. This is a very rare occurrence. In very simple terms, this means, in the eyes of NASA planners, that one rocket ship can go very closely to Mars and then, using Mars' gravitational field, swing by and reach out to Jupiter. Using Jupiter's gravitational field, the spaceship can continue to Saturn and then on to Uranus, followed by Neptune and Pluto. In other words, one rocket ship can do the job of 6 separate launchings at normal times. It doesn't take long to realize the economical advantage of such a project, and such a project it is. NASA definitely intends to take advantage of the system. It would be a fool not to. The multiple space venture is already scheduled and has been for years. The actual project has been toned down in size to only 1, 2, or 3 of such multiple planetary swing-by launchings. It takes many years to prepare a space shot. First, technological plans are drawn up, the astronauts are trained and educated, and the construction of the space vehicle needs to be organized and completed. When it comes to space projects, timing is essential. It boggles the mind to imagine the complexity of the planning. Once the operation is set in motion, there is no stopping. Too much is at stake. Deadlines must be met. All stages must be efficiently coordinated. All steps must go ahead as planned at the appropriate times. There can be no question of delays or work stoppages. The possibility of a workers' strike is impossible. All systems must be operating with a military-like efficiency. The blast-off must come by 1980 if the ship is to reach Neptune or Pluto. The spaceship must be ready by 1979. Construction must commence well before 1975. This military efficiency must be set up and maintained as much as 5 or 10 years before the final blast-off. We begin to wonder how, why, and even if such a superhuman feat is possible. How could anyone or any business ensure such stability in a world of constant change? And no matter how it is viewed, NASA is big business. Perhaps the biggest, with the most amount of subsidiaries and affiliated industries. It is hard to imagine how much fuel and energy is needed on a regular and dependable basis over a 10-year period to complete even one NASA project. How could such a vast supply of energy be supplied? Certainly a contract at a set price is desirable. How could energy be reliably regulated and guaranteed? And where would the money come from? We come back to the need for military efficiency, without which would be economic chaos or global inflation. There is a strong need for absolute control over the energy business. The government requires a monopoly. If you want to know where the energy and the economy is going, look to the skies. In order to meet rising demands of energy by NASA and the space projects, it became necessary to control the energy industries. Several years of violently fluctuating prices, followed by the energy crisis of 1974 and 1975, effectively wiped out the little guy and independent businesses. Necessary steps of control required for completion of Project 1984.